Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Joyce Sando and I'm all about women empowerment and giving all the women information because information is power. And today I would like to give information about how to stop breastfeeding, what are the side effects of stopping to breastfeed on yourself, on your breasts and on your baby. First, to start with a little story of how my mother stopped to breastfeed me. I remember I was still walking and I ran to my mom. I'm originally from Kenya and I was like, "Mommy, nyonyo," like always. Nyonyo means breast in Swahili. So they had planned that day with her sisters that I was not going to breastfeed anymore, and so they applied some paper on her nipples and I ran as always, and that was so painful. I still remember the bitterness of her nipples. Fast forward, now I have my own son. He is 10 months and I stopped breastfeeding him immediately. He got 10 months. And when is the right age to stop breastfeeding is scientifically 1 year, because at this age the child can have a lot of more varieties of food to eat from. You will not be judged if you stop breastfeeding at 8 months or 6 months or 2 years, or if you do not breastfeed at all. This is personal and everyone has different reasons on why they breastfeed longer or not breastfeed at all. So how to stop breastfeeding? You have to stop breastfeeding gradually. You make it a slow by slow, day by day thing for your child and also for your breast. I decided at 10 months I will not breastfeed anymore, so I started this process 2 months before. So at 8 months I reduced the intervals of breastfeeding my child. I started breastfeeding only in the morning and in the evening. Before that I would breastfeed on demand all the time. So when you're gradually changing your breastfeeding schedule, you have to replace breastfeeding for your child with something else. You can do this by reading a story for your child. You can cuddle with your child. You can play some soothing music, and your child needs a lot of fluid replacement to replace this milk that he is not getting. So you can introduce soups. You can introduce, this is a child of 8 months. You can introduce porridge. You can replace the feeding with a warm water. So always keep a warm water bottle somewhere. For when your child gets thirsty, you can give this to your child. And yogurt. I give my child, I started with plain yogurt, but I realized that he does not really like it, so I went for vanilla biological yogurt and he loves it. So after I reduced my breastfeeding, at 9 months I stopped breastfeeding at night completely, but I made sure that my child got enough to eat, that he does not have to wake up in the middle of the night. Then you have to give him breast milk. So I made sure that he was well fed and that we played a lot, so he was very tired and he would sleep through the night, all night long. In the morning when he woke up, I normally like to bring him to our bed and cuddle with him, and I would give him some breast milk. And at 9 months I started replacing this with we did not go back to bed anymore. He wakes up at between 6:30 and 7, sometimes 7, sometimes 6:30. So when he wakes up, I take him to the dining table, I give him some yogurt, and And that is how he got used to a child. After 3 days, a child forgets about it. 3 to 4 days. In this period, your breasts are experiencing a massive change. So they are not producing milk the way they used to. They can feel that there is not enough demand, and there is the milk that you had before, and this can have a lot of effects on your breast. Your breasts can have bruises because they are stretching. Your breasts can they can be painful, they can be sore. So you can give the extra milk to your baby, not so much, but let him suck on it a little bit. If you do not have a pump, if you have a pump, pump this milk out, not so much to let your breast think that there is an urge for demand. Pump this out and put on breast pads so that they can hold on the milk coming out. And if you experience pain, put some cold cabbage leaves on in your bra, and the cool effect eases the pain. So this is good for you. If they get damp, remove them. Take some new cabbage leaves, place them in your breast, and this helps in soothing the pain. If you experience hardness, you can massage your breasts slowly, and this also helps to ease the pain. Your breasts can be red, and they can be swelling. There can be also localized breast tenderness, and you can experience also a hot feeling. And these are all the side effects that your breast will experience, and they are all normal. For me, I experienced a really sharp pain in my head after two days, a really sharp headache, and I took painkillers, and it was so heavy, but after the next day I was fine. I also experienced discharge on my breast, the milk. For this you wear the breast pads, and it helps. And what happens to the milk? I was wondering that. So I talked to a few women, and even in the old days when there was no pump, they did not pump the milk out, so they pressed the milk out or gave it to their child, and not so much, but the milk dries up. After a few days, the milk dries up. I talked to one lady from Kenya who told me that they are advised to buy miscarriaging pills, because this helps to reduce the supply of milk. And I am living in the Netherlands, and I do not think anyone would prescribe these pills for you if you have not miscarried. So I do not know if they have side effects if you're taking miscarriage pills and you have not miscarried. I do not know if this is a good option for you, so I would put it off limits, and I would go the natural way. If I stop breastfeeding, what will happen to my boobs? Will they sag? Will they go back to their previous size that it was before I got pregnant? Or would they be fuller? And I was really curious, and I did a lot of research on that, and I saw that this depends on a number of issues. Lost weight, your breast size will reduce, and also genetic factor. If people in your family or your mother got the same size of breasts as after they stopped breastfeeding, that can also happen to you. Whatever happened to them can also happen to you. It also depends on age. So the younger you are, the more firmer they will be, and if the older you are after you stop breastfeeding, they will be a bit saggy. And if you're smoking, that will have an effect after you stop breastfeeding. And yeah, you might also experience uneven size of the breasts, but that is normal for me. Yeah, one breast is normally larger than the other one, so that can also happen after you stop breastfeeding. And yeah, for the child, you have to ensure that they have enough nutrition, they have enough proteins, they have enough iron, and they get enough fluids. 70% of our bodies are made of fluid, so you have to ensure that you make enough, you make sure that your child gets enough fluid. And put on a firm bra to make your uplift your bra, your breasts. And yeah, that was it. I hope this video was helpful, and see you next time. Have a nice day. Bye.